the way that we met is I hired you as
Yeah.
my sleep
Hmm.
consultant and expert because I was having some issues sleeping. And for most of my life, I've been a pretty decent sleeper. I just haven't, I just go through phases where maybe it's not the case. And sometimes it's, maybe what's on your mind and what's going on, and maybe stress plays a role. And this can be like family health issues, this could be business, this can be whatever. But I meet a lot of hard charging entrepreneurs, both male and female,
Hmm.
who really have a hard time shutting their mind down
Hmm.
and really don't sleep well. And I think long term, that's really holding them back. And I think with learning how to sleep well through whatever's going on only opens up more opportunity and more potential. So I remember hiring you, and I remember thinking, okay, well, I need to optimize my sleep. I need to get better here.
Hmm.
I've got some, I'm probably not in as bad of shape as many of the people that
Hmm.
hire you, but I saw room for improvement.
Hmm.
And the first thing you had me do after a pretty, intense or lengthy deep dive onboarding process, learning everything and anything about me,
Hmm.
is you had me tracking
Hmm.
my sleep
Yeah.
with different questions. There's this worksheet that I would fill out every morning and every evening.
Hmm.
And I got into this rhythm and habit of doing that. But I'd love to hear you talk about just the simplicity of that and the patterns that you see and just some simple solves
Hmm.
that you're able to figure out. Because for me, mine was easy. We
Yeah.
figured it out through a pattern
Hmm.
in my sleep tracker.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't tracking, it's the whole saying, like what you measure,
You don't.
uh,
Yeah.
you can impact, right?
Right.
You have the ability to move it. And because I started tracking it, we saw some patterns, and we were able to make some moves to enhance or perfect or better my sleep.
Right. So first of all, I have to say that Justin, you are highly disciplined, and that may be not the norm. That may be more extraordinary than ordinary. But I think that when it comes to any habit, I mean, the fact that we need to sleep well, we need to eat healthy food, we need to exercise regularly. Unless you're living under a rock, you know what it is. But it's not what you have to do, but it is how you do it, and doing it on a regular basis, that is an issue. And that accountability, creating that accountability really helped, because I think that for you, even filling out that sleep diary gave you a sense of control over, what you were doing, allowed you to see a pattern, and like allowed you to say that, well, I think I may, when I suggested maybe we need to make a few changes here and there, you were like, yeah, that makes complete sense because I see it, right? I mean, I
That's
don't
right.
need to tell you what to do. I really want to be your partner in this. And I want to take you along on the journey with me. And then we kind of both discover it together, by we collect information in real time, and then make any changes that we think that are necessary. And sometimes it's almost like stepping back and saying, well, I want to let go of this. Like, I don't want to obsess too much about something, because if you do, then it's likely to be a problem. Does that
Yeah.
does that help?
Yeah, it's fantastic. And the partnership approach is wonderful because you're not telling me you got to do it this way. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, let's look at the chart. Let's look
Right.
at the data
Right.
and make a decision. And you see the patterns just like I see the patterns, you
Yeah.
know? So it's really neat. And by the way, this is tracking anything from,
Yeah.
caffeine intake
Right.
to alcohol intake to the time of day. Did you nap? Did you not nap? How, did you eat food or drink alcohol within 3 hours of going to bed? How many hours did you sleep? Did you wake up in the night? I mean, just all kinds of different data points that I
Right.
think is so valuable. And as entrepreneurs, a lot of us do this in our business. We measure,
Hmm.
we have these metrics and we measure all these things, but then often we don't do it in our personal lives for our health journey.
Hmm.
That's part of why I love, the Aura Ring, where
Yeah.
you're getting
Which is
real-time
a tool.
data.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Total
Just think
tool.
think think of all of these as a tool on your tools that you need on your journey to feel better. And improvement in your health has to be small, continuous steps. And if you get back off track, you just have to kind of bring yourself back on track. Because, and again, in your case, Justin, I have to say, like, it was simple, and you made my life the job easier, because you were like, well, here, I'm gonna hold hands and I'm gonna walk in this direction as fast as or as slow as you want me to. And sometimes for some people there is, they have, especially if you're entrepreneur, and I experienced this when I stopped working as a salaried physician. There are stresses, and there are they're the kind of stresses, the kind of worries that you regularly don't have, and these can keep you awake. It changes the relationships that you might have with your family members, because now you're suddenly, your work becomes your life, because you're building something. And managing sleep during that time became really, really important, because I can clearly tell when I'm making right decisions, or even the way that I'm like speaking to the CEO of my company, etc. Like everything is affected by not getting enough sleep. And I work with people who live busy, complex lives. They're not going to go away. They're, Justin, you've had the wisdom as well as the luxury that you've created for yourself to have off time, to be able to travel, to be able to relax. And often the people that I work with don't do that, right? So a general manager of a Major League Baseball team will say, there's no way I'm going to turn my phone off for the night, because if somebody gets into a car accident, they're going to call me. Somebody gets arrested, something happens, they're going to call me. So then it's up to me to work with them to figure out if they could, have a team that works with them, delegate some of it, so that, and yet be in charge. I mean, because it does, we sometimes do feel that the work we do is really, really important, and it is important, and yet balance is how you can make it healthier for yourself and your family members.